So we are live now. Hello and good evening, everyone. This is OT Security Huddle 10. My name is Shiv, and along with me is Manju. We bring topics related to OT security, and this time we will be talking on a specific topic, which is a topic that shows a lot of interest. We directly get out with a lot of questions on this particular topic. People reach out to us to discuss what kind of certification they should do, how they start their certification journey, and that's where we picked up this topic. So before I start on this topic, a formal thanks to Manju, because he's traveling. Still, he found time to create the content and also support this initiative to educate people about how to do certification in OT security. The field is so diverse. There are a lot of options available. Lot And most of the time, since the certification are very specialized certification, there is a big cost that is associated to that. So in this particular session, we will be basically talking about the certifications which are there, the popular ones, and also how one can start their certification journey, what are the benefits that you are going to have, and bunch of other stuff related to certificate. Throughout the session, we'll be aggregating your questions, and at the end, we will try to answer your question that you might have. So first of all, thanks Manju. Thanks for taking time and then putting up your effort to make this content for this session today. I believe that this is the session that people will definitely would be interested into. We have also received a good traction on our LinkedIn page as well. Close to 200 people have shown their interest to join the session. So thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Shiv. First of all, very good evening, everyone. Thanks to Shiv for coming up with such a nice huddle talk, where it will be more of huddle than the presentation, because often we've been asked too many questions on the certifications, where we share our insights and our personal journey. So we thought, okay, let us do this through Huddle type, so that I will be asking the questions which have been asked by our mentees or whoever on LinkedIn, with our connections. So she also will be doing the same thing, and we'll try to cover as many as questions answered during the session, and also we will give you some of the insights during this session about the certification, how to go about it. It's not only that, what are the other alternatives as well, we will try to cover in this session. Thanks, Shiv, for arranging this very interesting huddle talk.
No, thanks, Manju. Thanks for the effort that you put up, and we had put up a bunch of slides to cover this topic. But typically, this is a huddle session where we want to share our experiences and maybe give the insights, what works well, which are the certification that are very well recognized in the industry. So before we begin, a friendly disclaimer that this huddle is an outcome of the personal interest. We started our journey a couple of years ago, and then we found that there is a dearth of resources on this particular area since it was coming up in the market. And since last 1 year, this is the 10th huddle session we are doing. We try to put the topics of the interest that people would be interested into, and they would help them some way in their career. So whatever we speak here, whatever we discuss here, it out of the personal interest and nothing to do with the organization that we are associated in our day job. So today we'll be covering as in this huddle session is a bit of overview of key cybersecurity certification in OT security. What is the difference between these different certifications, and what are the available alternatives against this well-known certification? If you really want to gather some knowledge, what should be your way forward? Then we'll get into three specific certification that myself and Manju have gone through. Of course, IEC 62443 makes a big chunk of it, because that's where this whole thing of OT security has started with myself and Manju a couple of years ago. And then what should be the different path forward for the beginners to have the certification journey in their path. At the end, we'll also be seeing a cybersecurity certification matrix, and how this certification fit in terms of beginner level to mid career level to an expert level certifications. So, Manju, before I begin, what would you like to add about certification? What do you feel that are certifications really necessary in one's career? How do they help in progressing into an organization or when somebody is looking to get into OT security? What is your feeling?
I mean, see, so I have gone through these certifications like 62443 and GICSP, and what benefits they have given to me is immense. I would definitely, because since I came from the OT background, purely because I started my career in as a automation and control system engineer, and from then, when I wanted to move my career from OT to OT cyber security, this definitely the certification helped, specifically on the 62443 certification when I started. Not only that, it helps in your day-to-day job as well. Now more and more industries coming up with and getting this 62443 compliance. So when we do this, at least we are trying to learn many things about this particular 62443 standards, because this is purely based on the standard they have defined on the ISS cyber security life cycle. So by doing this certification, you will also start understanding the standards as well, which will definitely value addition for your company as well as for your career. So there are two things. I mean, what happens is, when you have the certification in your CV, the moment HR or somebody sees that, okay, I mean, you will be limelighted than the those who do not have the CV. This is just an entry point, but that doesn't mean that you will get a job. Definitely you need to put effort, and
Mm,
you need to have that expertise. So this is purely based on my experience, what I have gone through. And not only these certifications, and also, because many a times we have been asked that these certifications are really expensive. So how do we can overcome with that, whether is these certification really necessary to do in the OT security domain? But there are other alternatives which we will be talking about in the upcoming slides. So and GICSP and grid, it's the GICSP. I can say that mid, beginner level, or on the mid senior level, and grid is for the maybe you can say the on the higher side. The more experience you have, it's better to do grid, but it's not compulsory. But when we talk about OT cyber security certifications, I feel, yeah, you can start with 62443 or GICSP. That we will say, I mean, how to choose, based on your career aspect, as well as on the job role what you want to achieve in the coming years for you.
yeah.
So Shiv, what is your take on this? I mean, if you can share your experience towards the certification, that would really benefit our audience.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so these certifications are basically the credentials. Like the people who are working in the forces, they will get medals and they will actually wear those medals with pride. For our professional journey, the certification play the same role. It basically tells that you are into a certain career path and it validates your experience in that particular area. Also, if it's, let's say, a beginner level certification, for an hiring manager, it will basically give that intent of that professional to having the interest in that particular area as well. If somebody is doing CEH, might not be having practical experience, but they had done it, they're going through the journey, so it actually shows their intent to work in cybersecurity field. But these bigger certifications like IEC 62443, the sense certification, GIAC certified cybersecurity professional, or the GIAC response and industrial defense, both grid certification are big certification, which tells that you are expert of a particular field and you have gone through the requirement to do certain professional activity. So this activity could be like overall cybersecurity for industrial control system, or maybe a specialized field of, let's say, incident response, cyber forensics, or maybe crisis management. Then you will go definitely go and do the certification like the grid certification. So I wear them with pride, and it actually shows my intent to work in the field. And I perceive the professional the same way. When I meet, they show their credentials, and I perceive it the same way. Now, having said that, I also see there are certain professionals in the industry that don't believe in certification. They say that, okay, my work is the proof of what we know in that particular field, and I don't want this credential to be done. So, nothing against it, but yeah, when you are having, let's say, a job change requirement, so this certification will come very useful for you to show that, okay, you have validated credentials in your profile and you have been working in that particular area. So when somebody is skimming through n number of CVs, and if he sees, okay, he's having IC 62443, certified cybersecurity expert, it will definitely will stand out. There are n number of reasons for this, because you have gone through the journey, you have actually invested your time and energy, you have reviewed the content, and then you actually set for the exam. So this itself shows your intent to work in that particular field. Similar goes for the other certifications. Luckily, in the case of GIAC certification, you have two different options. Either you can go for a training plus certification model, which is pretty costly. And then you have the challenge exam concept, where you will prepare yourself with the content and then you appear for the challenge exam. That even is, I would say, a bigger effort, because if you go for the training, definitely you will shell out more money, but the content is very well structured. You know what is expected out of the exam. On the other side, when you are self preparing, apart from those sample tests, you don't have anything much about what is going to be asked in the exam. So that's what my perspective is on cybersecurity certification. I definitely say they are worthwhile to achieve somewhere down the line in your professional career.
But how do I look at I mean, when as a third person, I'm very new to OT security industry. So what are the the main differences between these three certifications? Like whom it is applicable, or maybe if you can show some differences
Okay.
that
Okay.
could really.
Yes. So if we see these GIAC certifications, these certifications are the certification post the training content designed by Science Institute, and they have designed four different kind of content. First is for the managers, it is a quick training of 2 days, and then they have a 5-day training course. It's called Sense ICS 410, and they have another Sense 5 and 5. So these two certification that we are showing here, GICSP and Grid, they are correlated with two different contents. GICSP is a beginner level certification,
I think
which will give,
we can show them the the presentation
yeah,
where we have
yes,
that.
yeah,
So I mean, it gives the clear idea that.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so these are the key difference. The GICSP is a beginner level certificate. It covers the broad areas of OT security, and it also have these specialized area of forensic skills, the incident response skill, or the overall cybersecurity knowledge as such. Grid, on the other side, is the advanced level certification. It is for experienced OT security professionals who are working specifically in the OT area, and it focuses more on the incident response and forensics. You will learn how would you do incident response when there is an incident into the ICS infrastructure. At the same time, you'll also learn what are the cybersecurity countermeasures you will be putting up, or say the cybersecurity programs you'll be putting up, so that when there is an incident, you would be able to get the forensic data available to you, because it's not very straightforward in industrial control systems. It's completely different from the IT environment. So these the two certification goes into two different areas. First one is the beginner level, the second one is at the advanced level, and the focus is also designed in such a way. One is the baseline, very diverse. Once you do GICSP, then you have the option to choose your career where you want to go in OT security. Grid is very, very specialized for incident response and forensic.
Yeah, I would like to add one point here,
Yeah,
Shiv. Since we are talking about SANS, GIC certification, there is one more, we have not put it here. The reason is, it was specifically for it's called GCIP, GIC,
yeah,
critical infrastructure protection based on the NERCSIP standard. This is specifically in only in certain end user.
Yes.
So probably that might not give the edge when we are talking about the OT security certifications. Maybe GCIP is particularly focusing on the NERC standard. So that's why
Yes,
we have not
absolutely.
considered here.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes, please, sure.
Yeah, yeah, very valid point. Yes, it is specific to the North American utilities, and the requirement of the certification is more into those areas. And if the professionals are from the different geographies, they want to work into the Americas, then definitely they might choose for that GCIP certification. But these three certification that we have chosen for the discussion today has two different reasons. One is they are very well known certificates. Nowadays, when you see the job descriptions for the OT security roles, I find that either they will ask GICSP and 62443 fundamental certificate, or sometimes the complete 62443 cybersecurity expert certificate plus GICSP. And grid is obviously an advancement over GICSP. GCIP as such is like could be one of the options for the company that is working in those areas, but it's not that much prevalent if you see uh, globally accepted certifications or required certifications. Then the other reason is why we have chosen these three is our own journey also correlates to this certification. We have gone through these certifications and we also understand what it takes to achieve this certification, the effort, and also I would like to add maybe the cost benefit of actually putting up the money into these certifications. Specifically, IEC 62443 is a very costly certification, and it is designed in such a way that you need to mandatorily go for the training and then only you are eligible to write the exam. Yeah, so that is another reason we have chosen these three certifications for our discussion today. Now, having said that, I think I made the differences clear. There are bunch of other alternatives also available, but they are not as certifications, but the skill platform. Udemy is one. There are colleagues whom we have also invited in our platform earlier. They had actually put up a good content. If you are only looking towards gaining expertise in industrial control system, you can either go to the Udemy courses, or there are free courses available on CISA's website, which gives you the basic understanding of what is industrial control system security is. Then we have bunch of other alternatives which are not specific to OT, but they are also good certifications to have if you are starting your journey in cybersecurity. These three certifications are not, I would not say that they are sequential. CEH and CompTIA security plus certifications are equivalent to each other, beginner level certification, whereas CISSP is a advanced certification expected out of the managerial roles, uh, basic, because it covers a huge depth, or say huge breadth and very less depth into the cybersecurity concepts. There are eight different pillars of CISSP, and each one is having its huge content to be reviewed before appearing into the examination. Yeah, so these are the basic overview of the certification that we wanted to give before we actually
Yeah,
start in the agenda, which is IC 62443. So now I yield this mic to you, Manju.
yeah,
Let's have a quick explainer. What is these different blocks of IEC 62443 certification, why they are designed such a way? And
yeah.
I would also like you to address, is this certification training is only about 62443 certificate, or it does cover the other aspect of industrial control system as well?
Yes, thanks you for sharing your experience with the all the certifications. Yeah, before jumping into 62443, there are other certification what we have shown like CompTIA Security Plus or CEH and CISSP. Based on your number of years of experience, you can choose. Even with respect to OT security, we can say that 62443 and GICSP is a beginner level. Likewise, if you have some hands-on with the OT, or IT, then doing CH and Security Plus, maybe 5 years or less than 5 years of experience, that will give you that shows that okay, you are also interested in security, so that will also give an edge. So it's not mandatory that you have to go through GICSP and this only, but that will show that okay, you are interested towards OT security. So that's the major thing what Shiva also emphasized on. So coming back to 62443, it is well structured, I would say, and it covers everything. It's not only about security, 62443 cyber security standards. Also, it covers the basics of networking and the communication protocols and everything related to system hardening and where to go for resources. When we talk about the system hardening of all the configurable devices like OS, network devices, so where to go for resources. So such things are clearly well defined in 62443. If you look at the left diagram here, the 62443 has four certifications. One is the fundamentals, with the first one, which is mandatory to take before attempting the other three certifications. So other three certifications are one is risk assessment, design specialist, and maintenance specialist. This you can take it in any order. It's not mandatory that you have to go, because why they have designed like that, because many people would be from different portfolio. For example, if you are working for end user, maybe for you maintenance could be helpful, and someone who is a OEM and designing the product or solutions, for them design specialist would be helpful. And once you attempt all these exams and pass all the exams, then definitely ISA will send you the expert badge. So this is about the flow that you have to follow. But the good thing is now, unfortunately, because all these certifications are really expensive. Each will cost you, 1,600 USD as per the official website price. But you can take care of the, reduced price during the Black Friday sales, or maybe you can connect with your local chapters. Maybe you can ask for the discount whenever the opportunity comes, or maybe some of the employers also encourage, because 62443 has become mandatory thing in a OT security world. Because if you see the regulations, for example, if I want to take in India, there is a CA guideline which clearly specifies that any OEM or any a solution vendor related to OT security, they have to abide by this, follow 62443. That means even when you provide the training or whoever conduct the risk assessment, then they should be 62443 certified engineers. So this is the advantage for the employer as well as employee. As an employee, you will get a benefit that okay, you can ask for a raise or maybe the career growth, or even if you are in the leadership qualities also, it will help you because you know the standard very well. And what it covers is also the basics of 62443 standards. It's related to the cybersecurity life cycle. They call it as the assess phase, where we do the risk assessment and everything, and then the design and implementation phase, and then the maintenance phase. So according to that, they have defined this design the certification process. So now coming back to the training part on the right side, it's maybe it is visible hopefully. So for each of the certification, it is mandatory that you have to undergo the official ISA training. That is mandatory because exam voucher is included in these trainings as well. Once you complete the training, then they will give you the exam voucher once you complete your official training. There are four modes of training you can consider. Like one is classroom training where you can go physically and hear the lectures, or the second one is the virtual where you can attend online the live class, and the third one is instructor based where it is a recorded session, but there will be an instructor who will clarify your doubts as and when required. But the last one is self-paced modular. That is just a recorded session. You will get the access for 1 year only, so that you have the all the documentation required or presentation material which is required for to attempt the exam. That is more than sufficient. So I want to share my experience because people often ask me that which training mode is really good. So for me, I took virtual training for fundamentals, and for remaining ones, I took all the self-paced modular because I like that way. But someone who needs the instructors help, then I would say, you can choose the instructor led program. Or if you really like, yeah. So, yeah, these are the kind of things, training that you can undergo. It is up to the individual how, based on his interest or her interest, they can choose. Then once you complete the training, you will get the exam voucher, and then you go for the, I mean, attempt the exam. There are many ways. I mean, you can either take it remotely, or you can visit the official office center. You can you can search that, and then you can attempt the exam. And there is only one attempt, and if even if you want to take, and then you have to approach you know yeah, but with 62443, I would say, all the labs what you get is not hands-on. I mean, you will be given the like virtual labs, that too only if you have choose the classroom exams. So I mean classroom training. Otherwise, it's all recorded session, even the labs as well. For this particular exam, the hands-on is not required, as based on my experience. Even Shiva also can add on that point. Yeah, I mean, and some people say that, even though this is a certification, related to, the expert, but the content what we see is not up to that level. Uh, I agree for some point, but, by doing this, you need to put a lot of effort. And what they focused is more on the process. I mean, how you go through the training, and how you attempt the exam. It's not that easy. You need a lot of effort and the time management to complete this. And by going through, at least you will start understanding, because in the fundamentals they will cover everything. Question related to the 62443 standard basics. Then comes to risk assessment. They will cover the particular standard for 3-2, how to conduct the risk assessment. I mean, everything related to all the terminologies. And then in the design and implementation part, they will cover the network segmentation and other stuff. I mean, everything related to like firewall configurations, many such things. And in the maintenance, they have included all the incident response and all that. So if you look at the entire 62443 expert series, certification process. So this is really well crafted, I would say, such that even they will provide you the standards as well, because you need not buy additionally. So they will provide you the some of the standards which are really required. That will help you in day-to-day job as well. Yeah,
Yeah.
would you like to add your experience on these certifications?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So I think I'm qualified to speak about this certification because it is exactly 4 years ago when I started my IC 62443 journey. And it's been 3 years since I'm cybersecurity expert. It was like immediately after the COVID, they have started conducting it online. Before that, the first two used to be online, and the remaining certificate 3 and certificate 4 trainings used to be only offline mode. You have to fly to either US or Europe to actually attend the training and then appear for the examination. Now, the positive thing about IEC 62443 is very well structured certificate, and it will give you the learnings, and the objective is not to make you an expert overnight, but it's a journey. It will start very slowly into ICS concepts, and then it will build upon it. That's why they are designed the fundamentals. It will teach you what is industrial control system, why we need security, and then each of these areas like risk assessment. Okay, now you understand industrial control system. Let's start with the first step, which is risk assessment. Then the second step is obviously you design the overall system, and finally, when you have designed the system, if there is an incident, how would you handle it? So that's the journey here, and there is definitely some practical aspects that is being put up into the certification, specifically the certificate 3 or IC 34 as well as IC 37. They had kept some lab also, but now if I look back, if let's say there is a person who has been working in the cybersecurity field for quite some time, he would not get impressed by the labs that is designed into this online mode, right? You might expect that I'm uh, getting into the industrial control system, and the labs difficulty level or maturity level may be equal to OSCP level of labs, but that's not there. The intention is not there here. The intention is to put you into a journey, and that's how you'll achieve the certificate. Another good thing about IC 62443 is all the content that is going to be asked in the examination is there in these trainings. They are not going to ask anything apart from the content that you are going to learn in the classes. Having said that, this is not exactly true. That's why I'm emphasizing on this particular point. For the other certification, the content that you learn in the class, you might find similar questions into the real examination, even though the exam could be open book exam, but you need to maybe dig little bit more and then review content somewhere outside. So if you are starting your career in OT security, 62443 is a good certificate. It is a structured learning, and then you'll earn the certificate very well. Also, the cost is a bit high here, and that is why the good thing that ISA local chapters in India have done is they have reduced the cost up to 50% of the global cost, and also giving you uh, the INR pricing, so you don't have those extra tax burden or all those stuffs available. The other option is you can definitely wait for the Black Friday sale, and there you will get these trainings available to close to, I guess, 50 or 55% of the actual cost, and that's a good deal. If you are not located in India, then definitely that's the deal you should look for when you are buying these certificates.
Yeah,
Yeah, so that's my, yeah.
even they can convince their employer about the importance of 62443, and even some employers encourage that as well. And you
Yes,
can,
absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah, as I mentioned previously, that now if you review the OT security JDs, 62443 is the one certification that they are generally putting into the JD itself. And there are multi regions for this. 62443 is the gold industry standard for industrial control system. It covers the entire life cycle of security, starting from the product designing to actually implementing to managing to finally discarding the product, or say, you know um, what it is called, safe removal of the product. So that is why the reason is 62443 is very well recognized certificate in the industry, and definitely one of the certificate that you look for. And it was a good thing if your employers are willing to sponsor you for the certification. Definitely go from our side. Yeah, so
yeah,
now I'll move forward
yes,
quickly on GICSP. Uh, you had recently completed your GICSP, and though you have shared your exit notes, and this is a very special achievement that you have done, is you opted for the challenge exam, not for the training mode. So you had to learn the content and then prepare for not only the examination, but also in this particular certification there is a lab requirement is also there. I think 7 questions would be there which you need to do through the cyber live lab during the exam itself. So what was the good thing that you found in the certification? What were the challenges that you found? And also what is the benefit that you have driven out of the certification, Manju?
sure. So the first and foremost, when I decided that okay, GICSP is allowing me to attempt uh, GICSP exam without the official SANS training, I was very excited. Then I started digging on the ICS 410. Even if you go to official website, when you click on GICSP link, so they have given the official training is available. So when you click that, it will take you to the ICS 410 link, where it is the training which is designed for GICSP. So the training is ICS 410 ICS SCADA Security Essentials. So then when we go through the exam format, which contains the MCQ plus cyber live. So I was like, okay, maybe I was a bit down when I saw cyber live, because initially I did not think that okay, maybe some practical stuff will be there, but you really need that experience of the practical labs. So then how will I approach? So that is when first what I did is I have yes, definitely you can attempt GICSP without SANS training. I have
Yeah.
written the blog as well.
Yeah,
So
the excitement is increasing. I see a lot of questions when you
yeah,
mention GSS. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So I'll tell you how I approached. Since I have the strong OT background, I have looked at the training modules, right? But I would say that they have designed in such a way that they will cover both OT and IT stuff. So they try to cover the OT stuff first, like based on the Purdue model they have considered, Purdue level 0, 1, 2, 3. They try to talk about the basic components which they cover in the each Purdue level, starting from the field level to the controllers, and then the HMI, all the workstation, Windows system, and some workstations still works with Linux, Unix, Windows and PowerShell. And if you look at this content, these are you know, uh, very well crafted, I would say. And even the one good thing happened was, I had studied and I have put my effort to learn everything about the based on the GICSP content, I mean ICS 410 content. Then immediately I took the practice test, just to, I was very curious that okay, I have to see how the cyber life was conducted. And that is when I understood, because in the cyber life, you will be given like a try hack me, they will give you the virtual box. So similar kind of during the exam itself, you will get the cyber live I mean VM access. That is when I realized, I think after the practice test, again, I went back and I spent almost 2 months to restructure my, study planning, because I was not knowing few of the stuff. But fortunately, when I looked at the sans, because I had a hell lot of library of contents on OT security. Specifically, when you log in to sans library, that is the most important part. And when you're attempting the challenging exam, all the I mean related to the GICSP exam was already there in the public domain. May not be in depth, but at least the information was there. So when even if you see my blog as well, I have compared how to go for each of the topic. So this is how you have to map. For example, one such example is, there is a Modbus enumeration. There was one topic. So when I went to YouTube and the started searching, there was clear, they were showing. I mean, how to find out the Modbus TCP traffic and the attack scenarios. Even those links I have already shared. The thing is, good thing about this came to my mind only when I attempted the practice exam. That is when I realized my gaps. So this helped me a lot for self study. Yeah. So see, once this is done, what I did was, I have bring the notes and everything. The most important part is the index, because it's an open book exam. So I have studied that in the open book exam, you can take only the hard copies. So if you attempted the SANS training, then you can take the SANS material directly. But if you have not attempted the SANS training, then definitely you should have your own study material based on the probably what I did is I just exactly mapped ICS 410 security essential and started writing down, because even I had completed 62443, and also since I am from OT system background, so it was not that difficult because I had too many contents with me. So then, even there was also a book. I think Mike has already mentioned that Practical Industrial Cybersecurity by Charles Brooks. But how far this helped in clearing GICSP, I would say that probably it is not exactly mapping those, but this the conceptual wise, this is really a good book. I would say that anybody who is interested in OT security, definitely you can go through this particular book called Practical IoT Industrial Cybersecurity book. That also helped me because I took a printout of this book and I had purchased and I took the for the exam. But indexing, what is indexing means? Because since it is an open book exam, whenever you read the question, there will be some of the key terminologies. For example, let us say the PowerShell some commands. So then you would because no PDF, no computer, it's not an open internet or open computer. So you cannot go to PDF and search. It is not like that.
Yeah.
So in the hard copies, how will you find it? So that is where indexing will help you. So indexing definitely, you know, and you should be very quick enough, because this is, even though this is 3 hours exam, and you need to attempt minimum 82 questions, 75 I mean MCQ plus 7 cyber live. You know, since this cyber live also includes, you need some time minimum, at least 40 to 45 minutes in the end you need to have for the cyber live exams. So then, time management is the key. Believe me, literally I had only 30 minutes of time for the cyber live questions, because I was, even though it is an open book exam, it was very difficult. Even though you have index, with the proper indexing will save your life for the GICSP exam, because you can take
Yeah.
as many as hard copies you want. But the thing is, if you don't maintain well those contents in a proper manner, then it will become, it becomes very difficult, right? Yeah, so this is about, and even cyber life. I would say that actually whatever the VM what they have given, even you can create on your own, because the good thing about sans training, I would say that, they are using all the open source material. How I came to know, because I have taken the practice test. That is when, I saw that. Then I tried to map it, and I went through the sans blog, sans library. I have downloaded many documents. You don't believe me? I may probably, whatever documents are available in the sans, I took the printouts, I kept it, I studied. And even if you go to YouTube, there are a lot of sans trainings are available on the, particularly the ICS 410 related topics. So if you map it, you can easily crack this exam and also note down. So, and regarding the question type, it was, it was not so difficult, I would say, but, some tricky questions. Uh, you know,
Yeah, Manju.
okay. So I got a notification that my mic has some problem. That's fine.
Yeah, yeah. So you were muted for last few seconds.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was a good overview, and I think the good practical insight. The questions are also on the same line. So maybe we are talking about GICSP now. It is a good time to quickly see some of the uh, questions now. So, like the general question is, for one of the question is that, did you find that since you have already done 62443 certificate, your how much did it help in your GICSP preparation?
Yeah, I mean, it's not mandatory that you have to go through 62443. If you have an overview, because they cover only some of the basic standards like NIST, all are in the open public forum. And 62443, you need not have that. Really, it will not help for GICSP. For GICSP, it's all about the basic foundation of control system, industrial control system, and the Purdue level architecture, which is also covered in 62443, definitely. So, I mean, so if you think that, okay, I need to first do the 62443 and then go for GISSP, that is not mandatory. I mean, even you can do without attempting the 62443 exam as well. So that will help you for sure. But I would say that, okay, if you ask me as a fresh mind, then definitely it is not required. Yeah.
Yeah, so Rohit have asked this question that, could you please share how to prepare for GICSP? So I think you had already written an
Yeah.
exit note. What was
Yes,
your strategy?
exactly.
What
Step by
worked
step,
well?
and on the
What?
way.
Yeah,
Yeah. Actually,
yeah,
I started explaining the GICSP preparation based on his question. Actually.
yeah. So I would also like to add a couple of points here. This are cues from what your experience tells, Manju. You very well described the indexing, and it works very well if you are prepared well with your indexing, even though it's an open book exam, but you really need to manage your time. So apart from having the index, which page is containing what, one another thing that I have used in my grids exam is also putting flags in those hand notes. So one is your index, it
Yeah.
tells, okay, at page number 29, you are having something related to Stuxnet, and then it will tell at page 68 also you are having Stuxnet, and then your index will tell, okay, there is a page number 100 also you are having Stuxnet related information. That doesn't give you that much of flexibility during the exam, uh, that you can spend the time or you can actually leverage the time. So what I have done is I had to use some flag, and then I had take put the flags with this. Okay, this is the page which is talking about Stuxnet, but this is talking about forensic part of this Stuxnet, or this is talking about the actual attack of this Stuxnet. So when I need to see according to the question, I can immediately go to that particular book and then find it out. I also use some color coding of these sticky notes so that during the exam they worked really well. I would know that, okay, if I'm using a green color, it is related to forensic. If I'm using a pink color, it is related to the threat information and all those things. So that's how I manage my time for the grid exam, where the time is actually 2 hours compared to there's 3 hours into GICSP. But in GICSP, you also have Cyber Live, so you need to boot those machine and then actually execute some command to find out the desired result. Yeah, so since you have already shared your exit notes, I think one of the things that we can definitely do post the session is to put the link there so that it could be helpful
Yeah,
for the people.
sure.
And I think this particular question you have already answered. Can we
Yes.
do GISSP exam without sense training? Definitely yes. There are two modes. One is you need to go for the training, pay a big amount, and then appear for the exam. The other one is you only pay for the exam. It's called the challenge exam. Prepare yourself and then appear for the exam. You will find a good amount of information in the exit notes written by Manju. Mike also is in the session today, and he has also put up the name of the book, which would be very, very helpful when you want to prepare for GICSP. Yeah, so now we'll move for the last certification today, which is grid. I had attempted grid exam last year at the end of April, and that is a bit of a history with me. I scheduled this exam for a physical center, and when I reached there, I found the center was not a good center, very well kept center, and the entire exam duration was of 2 hours, and this guy there could not start my exam for entire 2 hours, and that was the last day of exam. So luckily sense actually recognized, or GIAC actually recognized, that this was the problem in the exam center side, and they had given me a 7-day extension. Second time I took the exam from my home, but this time there were a lot of network issues. I had 5 disconnections during the entire exam, and that actually worked for my advantage. Every time there's a disconnection, I'll get another 2-3 minutes. So that actually worked well for me. So grid is an exam similar to GICSP, but the number of questions are 75. It's a 2-hour exam. Passing scores is higher than GICSP since it's an advanced certification. They expect to have more knowledge. 74% is there, and also it is open book. There are no practical questions or cyber labs, but believe me, the questions, even though you are having the open book exam, the passing rate is not very high in grid certification as well. You must have heard that CISSP and OSCP are the big certificates where passing rate is very less. Grid certification is also like that. So even one question here and there, since there are only 75 questions, it will make close to 1.5%, and you will immediately lose in the exam. This particular certification is specifically focus on understanding the threats in the industrial control system. In depth, there are concepts discussed into active cyber defense part. What should you be doing for actively defending your infrastructure? And also, once you have very well defended your infrastructure, if there is a threat, what are the skills and capability you need to have for forensically analyzing the industrial control systems. Yeah, so I used the entire 2 hours in this exam, and this was open book, and also I had gone for the official sense training for this one. So yeah, even after going through the trainings, you really need to put the hard work to clear the exam. Now, if I have to compare this with 62443 certificates, um, these two certifications are a bit difficult, but the resources are there. You can very well prepare. A lot of write-ups are there. You can put the index. Good thing is they are open book, so answers are in front of you, but you need to find them into the notes that you are using during the exam. 62443 on the other side, uh, if you have gone through the content twice, the slides which are taught there, that would be good enough for you to clear the exam. My experience is when I had appeared for the 62443 fundamental certificate, which was a 3 hour certificate, I took only 55 minutes to finish this. And when I was writing my last certificate, which is IC47, I only took 37 minutes to finish it, even though it was a 2 hour exam. So it's only, the slides that you need to review before appearing in the exam. By the fourth certificate, I learned that I need to only focus on the slide. So I spent a good amount of time going through this slide and then appear for the exam. Yeah, so that's our experience, and that's how these certifications are. Now, if you are starting afresh into OT security, there could be the certificates that you might choose, and then there would be some advantage that you will gain if you are getting into OT security. But the thing that will come obvious in your mind, which certificate should I go for? Shall I do GICSP? Should I do 62443? Or should I only do the free trainings which are available online? So, Manju, first I will ask you, what is your perspective? You recently had gone into that transition, being a pure automation engineer to a cybersecurity professional now. And then I will add my learnings. I come from the cybersecurity background, and what advantage I have found in these certificates. I would like to add it later on, post your
Sure.
comments.
Yes, Shiv. So, when I started moving from OT to OT security, so I had gone through this CISA free course, training course, which I came to know from, many people online. This was way back in 2016 or 17. That time they had, now it is updated. But the content and I really, excited. I was really excited by gone through the all the 12 modules. Even during the like usually I used to sit like that when I used to watch Amazon movies, web series. So it was like that, to be frank, because I had that passion about OT security. So
Yeah.
I would definitely say, if you are very new to OT security, and if you don't have any background on the OT or IT, then definitely please go through these free trainings. You need not invest any time. And at the same time, nowadays, a very affordable price, you can go through the Udemy courses, which will give you the more practical sense. I mean, because they have shared their practical experiences, because they are working in that industry from at least for some time. That will really help you, and also connect with people who are already sharing their knowledge towards OT security. That will also beneficial, like Mike, really sharing it. And even I strongly recommend that, Mike also has that 20 hours free course. So that would really help you understand about everything about OT security. At least the foundation will be very strong. And once you have done so, what I have seen based on my connection is, either you really want to shift from OT to OT security or IT to OT security, because this is a niche field, and everybody started think that, the one advice what I give is, really you need to have that passion. Then only you can move from either OT to OT security or IT to OT security. Without that, it would be really difficult for you, because those who come from the IT, they would really feel difficult to understand the industrial control system, communication protocol specific to OT systems. And then, even though you have the IT knowledge, but it would be really difficult if you don't understand the industrial control system. But for the control system engineer who are really want to jump in, then they feel that, okay, security is not my cup of tea. That's why I always tell people that, okay, go for the free course training first. You understand, if you have passion, then go for a certification. That is for the career path. Now, coming back to the choosing 624 for the GICSP or grid, I would say that if you are already working in OEM, or where you really need the 62443 on your day-to-day job, then definitely you can do 62443. Otherwise, GICSP is well recognized, and it's the beginner training, and also you need not spend that 4 to 5 lakhs what you are spending for 62443. GICSP, if you attempt the challenge exam with very well preparation, then definitely this is a cost effective and more benefit, I would say. And then grid is the more for the advanced level certification. Now there is one more question will come for the beginner level. Should I do GICSP if I have already have CH? So you can give it a try. I mean, if you are CH and security plus or other certifications, then you can try, but make sure that you read the job description very well. So if you have that way, you can apply, but make sure that you understand 62443, you have the security standards known to you. So that is also beneficial. But one advantage 62443 will give you is it's not only for your career growth, career elevation also in the existing company, because people can I mean, see that interest in you have that even all the many jobs nowadays, what we have observed is in the industry, all are going with the regulations, right? 62443, then definitely they will seek for 62443 certification, I mean certified experts, those who have then whether be it a training or maybe conducting a risk assessment or whatever. So in my opinion, if you have CH and security plus and good control system background, then straight away you can go and for career elevation, I'm telling. Otherwise, then GICSP is good. And if you are working in the the 62443 compliant industry, then 62443 would be a good starting point.
Yeah, very well summarized, Manju. Thanks for that. You had left very little for me to add here. Definitely, I'll agree with you that if you are starting your journey into OT security, you should first review the content which is available either on CISA's website, freely available on OT Security Huddle and the other platform. And also, the Udemy courses are the quick starter point. They are very cheap compared to any of these certificates. Like one certificate of 62443, which is the first one, fundamental, would cost close to $2,000, and the remaining one will cost close to 2,700 or $3,000. At the same time, you will get a good starting point with Udemy courses for $10, $20, or maybe $15. So that's a good starting point. If you expect that, okay, you'll still invest those $1,500 and then it will fetch you a job, it would not be that easy, because when somebody is seeing your CV, definitely it will stand out in terms of having those credentials, but the expectation is the real knowledge that would be tested during the interactions and all. So first go and review the free content, and to validate and increase your chances of the career growth, go for the certificates. That should be the mantra. Whether you are a seasoned professional into ICS security or CIA security or IT security, certifications are a good reckoner of your expertise or your skills that you are having. So now that's my perspective about this. Definitely go, but use your money judiciously is the caveat that I would like to give here. So there is a related question here. Like, let's this Robinson Durai is asking this question that I am frequently thinking whether we need to have good knowledge and a certificate in CISSP or OSCP, then we need to move IEC 62443. So this is completely unrelated certificates. CISSP and OSCP are the high effort certificates, where 62443 is not high effort certificate. If you are having basic understanding of industrial control system, that's a must. So first go for the CISA content, review the free industrial control system security related videos, get to 62443 certificate. It would be much more easier. Whereas CISSP, you need to review a very thick book plus 8 different sections, multiple chapters, and you also need to remember this. And these OSCP is a 24-hour exam, CISSP is 3-hour exam. There, it is a game of patience. You need to have that patience to read those questions and then also read those big options and then also think logically to answer this. Where 62443 certification exam is very much straightforward. They might ask you which of the following tool is used for active scanning, and then they will give the options like nmap or maybe industrial anomaly detection and all those kind of things. Your answer would be straightforward. So that's the difference. So there is no need to get into CISSP or OSCP then 62443. These are mutually exclusive. They are not dependent.
Yeah, and
Okay.
also when they think about this, as I said in the beginning, you can choose that, based on the number of years of experience, as I said, because CISSP and all, you need a minimum 5 years of experience, and you cannot tell that I have. If you have more experience, definitely, if you have done CISSP, but it's no way related, right? If you're Because 62443 is a complete different certification than CISSP or OSCP. And
Yes.
OSCP you can consider if you are moving to OT security pen testing. So yeah,
Yeah,
just
definitely a good one. So now we'll take questions. We are already at
yes,
the top of the hour. So
yeah,
quickly we'll
exactly.
go through some of the questions. So Bharti is asking, hi, what are your view in the OT cybersecurity GRC activities, having considered these certification as such, and how do you see it in the upcoming security future perspective? Yeah, so there is no specific certificate available in the OTGRC. 62443 is very well covering that under the 2 series of standard. And also, it is being discussed during the fundamental analysis and also somewhere in maybe in the risk assessment part. Now, if you are looking for a role which is specific to GRC, there are other certificates available for GRC because the cybersecurity governance, if you are doing the other certificate plus one of the OT security certificate, that would be more than sufficient to give you the GRC level understanding. Governance would pretty much will remain same in both side. It What differs is the process and the procedures, that how would you achieve that governance.
And also, I
What?
think
Yeah.
ISC Square has this recently announced CGRC,
Yes.
so that would
Yes.
be beneficial as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Then Bipin Jakaria is asking, is a hands-on required on the incident response to attempt access on the certifications? No, there is no requirement of an hands-on. If you are asking about grid, there is no requirement of hands-on. If you are asking about GICSP, there is cyber live lab part, and there you would require the hands-on to answer certain number of questions. Uh, Okay, so this is, I think, a comment. CISA is well framed and free also. There is a validation after course. Yeah, so you will get a quick validation. Then I think we had answered this question, but I'll read it out. I'm from IT security with information security background. Regarding the training, do we need to get some other resources, or we can purchase it from ISA website? You can directly purchase, and as we have mentioned in the last slide, first review the free content, then go for the training. This is a comment from Mike, so I'll flash it here. Thanks, Mike, for joining the session. We would be glad to have you here, maybe in the coming huddle sessions. Uh, so, thank you for joining this and supporting us here. Robinson, uh, yeah. So, in live
I think,
hands-on,
yeah,
both.
he's asking about 62443 and
Yes, yeah.
probably.
So both you will get live hands-on. GICSP also. See, if you are preparing by yourself as a challenge, then you need to the labs yourself. But 62443 is training come certification, so you definitely need to get into the live lab first and then attempt the certificate. Okay, I think we have covered the other one.
I think there is one question, Shiv, from Rahul Nalge. Is there
Yeah,
a free training available with, with the same content as 62443 so that I can better prepare when going for ISA 624? To be frank, since ISA is providing the training as a mandatory thing, you have to go through their training. That is more than sufficient. You need not go through the
yeah,
other trainings, but for your work purpose, definitely you can go for it. Just to understand like about 62443, which will definitely help you in clearing 62443 certification.
yeah. So yeah, the thing is like, what is your objective out of this training? You really just are looking for maybe uh, learning 62443 and cybersecurity. Then there are a number of training. I think there is one Udemy training is also available for maybe $10, $15. But if you are aiming for the certification, then you need to mandatorily go for the training provided by ISA. Okay, then there is a comment from Robinson. Really good content, Shiv and Manju. Kudos. Yeah. So thanks, Robinson, for joining, and thanks
Thank
for
you.
the shout out.
Yeah, there is one last question, I think, from Karthik.
Yeah.
Kritik, sorry.
Yeah.
Kritik.
What will be suggestion on training certification for 10 years on ICS? Yeah. So it depends on what you are aiming there, what role you are aiming. So if you are aiming for a managerial post, then maybe CISSP is the one, which is not related to ICS as such, but it will give you an overall understanding of the cybersecurity. So that could be one definitely recommendation from my side. But if your role is more into industrial control system security, then you can do IC 62443. GICSP and GRID are more of the hands-on certificates, whereas 62443 is more of governance side as well as understanding of the overall cybersecurity life cycle of industrial control system. That's my recommendation. Do you want to add, Manju, here?
Yeah, definitely. I agree with you. 62443. And if you're looking for an immediate change, then I would probably suggest to that GISSP without SANS training, if you are able to put that effort. If you go through the training material and how I mapped it, because since I come from the same background, so I could relate your place that okay, you want to move from OT to OT security, but it will just give you just only the weightage on the CV. But ultimately, when you go for an interview, they will when they see your CV, okay, you are putting efforts, but the same you have to put little extra effort in learning the OT security practice as well, right? I mean, for that, the CISA training will be definitely a starting point. So first you do that, and then you go for certification.
Yeah, so I think we are at the top of the hour now. We had covered good length of this. I wanted to show that certification matrix, but I think I'll post that as the link into our
Maybe
Huddle
you,
page so
yeah.
that then people can watch there. So thanks everyone for joining. I think this was a useful session for you. You learned something from our experience, and if you have any further question, we would be happy to answer on our Huddle page as comments. And if you like our work, do share your comments, tagging us on the LinkedIn. Thank you. Have a
Thank you.
very good rest of your
Thank you.
evening. See you in the next Huddle session.
Thank you.